Hello, welcome to another video. So, let's address some things. We're standing up now. We're not sitting. This is very nice for me because it means my legs won't fall asleep while I'm filming. Okay, the hair, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it's red. I've got bangs. It's just a thing. Yes. I haven't uploaded since last year. I don't know what to tell you guys. I've filmed a bunch of videos, and then some either never made it to the editing process, or they made it to the editing process, and I absolutely hated them. So there's that. I already filmed it once, and it sucked. So we're doing this again. Today I'm going to be sharing my reading goals that I want to reach by the end of 2021. I will also be showing you some of the books, the majority of the books that I would like to read this year. I don't think I will get to all of them. These are all books where, in my wishful thinking mind, will read this year. Alrighty, so if you follow me on Goodreads, I will leave a link down below. I have already set my reading goal to 33 books. My reading goal, I usually tend to look at what I read the past year, the goal that I set for myself the previous year, how well I did, if I reached that goal, if I fell short of it, and I will usually adjust my goal based on how I did the previous year. So last year my goal was to read 32 books, and I did just that. I hit a bit of a reading slump in like the last quarter of the year, but I still reached my goal. So this year, my goal is now 33 books. So let's hope that I can do that. Last year, I had the goal that I wanted to become more well-read, which means reading more classics that I haven't read yet, or reading more memoirs or biographies, not just fiction, not just young adult fiction, you know. I want to branch out a little bit. Okay. You guys have seen me talk about this book before, The Reason by Lacey Sturm. I really loved it. And so this year I want to pick up her second book, The Mystery. And then to go along with that, we also have Wicked Women of the Bible by Anne Spangler. This book has been sitting on my bookshelf for about 5 years now. 6 years. Holy, 6 years. It's been sitting on my shelf for 6 years. And I haven't read it yet. And I hope that I will finally get to this soon, because I keep staring at it and going, I want to read you, and then I don't. So after that, to try and make myself more well-read, I also have classic poetry that I would like to read. I'm currently in the middle of a collection of poetry by John Keats. I also have William Wordsworth and W.B. Yeats. I don't know if it's pronounced Yeats. I could be saying that completely wrong, but I like saying it Yeats. So I would like to read these this year. After that, we have A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. I got this because I read The Infernal Devices, and if you've read The Infernal Devices, you know that they mention this book a lot. Or at least it seems like that in hindsight. So I bought it, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna read it. And then it sat on my shelf for a while, and then I did try to read it, and then I ended up DNFing it. So hopefully this is the year that I read this. After that, we have Dracula by Bram Stoker. I wanted to read this last year after watching the 90s adaptation with Winona Ryder and Keanu Reeves, and then it didn't happen because I was in a reading slump. Following, in a similar vein, we have Interview with the Vampire by Anne Rice. I watched the movie with Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt in 2019. I ended up really enjoying it. I thought it was a very good movie, so I decided I wanted to try the book. I wanted to give the book a shot. So I have it. Hopefully I read it this year. This may be an October read. We'll see. On a completely different note, we have To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I did not have to read this for school, surprisingly. So honestly, what's really making me want to read this is the fact that one of my friends told me that in one of the adaptations of this book, there's a little girl that wears a ham costume. And I saw pictures, and that's the driving force that makes me want to read this book. It's a funny visual, and I hope that it actually is in here, because I know this is a pretty serious book. After that, we have The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. I haven't read any of Donna Tartt's works. I know that she wrote The Secret History. Have not read The Secret History. That's about the extent of my Donna Tartt knowledge. I found it in Goodwill, and I just love a chunker. As far as I know, it's about a boy who really likes the painting of a goldfinch. I'm not sure if it'll actually happen because, like, look at the font. But I would like to say that I have read this behemoth in the year of 2021. Something else that I randomly decided as I was trying to think of goals and books that I wanted to read, so that way I could actually have content to give you guys, I decided that I want to make this the year of finishing series that I started and then unintentionally dropped. When I say series that I started and then unintentionally dropped, I mainly mean manga that I've started, because I've started like 3 different series and I haven't finished any of them. The first one that I would like to finish is Ouran High School Host Club by Bisco Hattori. Ouran High School Host Club follows basically this middle-class girl who's been given a scholarship to Ouran upon her first day at the school. She ends up breaking this vase that's worth like a lot of money. She doesn't have the money to pay for the vase, so the host club ends up taking her in thinking that she's a boy, and basically she works for the host club to pay off her debt. It's a lot of hijinks. It's very fluffy and funny, and I just really like it. And I'm kind of sad that I haven't finished the manga yet. I watched the anime. I loved the anime, but I haven't finished this, and I need to finish this. I have volumes 1 through 6, so I will restart the series and then get the rest of them from the library. And hopefully by the end of 2021, I can say that I have finished the Ouran High School Host Club manga by Bisco Hattori. The next manga that I want to finish is Maid-sama by Hiro Fujiwara. Again, I have watched the anime. I really liked the anime. Started the manga. I think I have the first 4 volumes. I have the first 4 volumes of the manga. I believe there's 9 or 10 volumes. In the series. So this will be a short one to finish, hopefully. This series follows Masaki, who is the class president at her school. She has earned the reputation as Demon President because she really cracks down on the boys at the school and tries to keep them in line. While she has this reputation that she cannot sully, I guess, or ruin somehow, some way, she also has to help her family out financially, so she gets a job at a maid cafe, and she keeps the job a secret. Nobody must know. Enter Usui, who one day while walking by sees her at the restaurant, and they strike up some sort of deal where he's not gonna tell anybody about her job. It's hijinks, it's funny, yeah, I want to finish it really bad. The last manga series that I want to try to finish. I think this one's actually still ongoing, so I may not finish it, I may just try to catch up, but that's Skip Beat by Yoshiki Nakamura. This series follows Kyoko. She moved to Tokyo. She moved to Tokyo to try and support her boyfriend as he was trying to break into show business. she ends up finding out that he was using her the entire time, and so she leaves him and says, I'm going to become a better star, or a bigger star than you are. The series just kind of follows her as she's trying to break into show business and become a bigger star than her ex-boyfriend. I don't know what else I can say about this. It's great. I have the first 6 volumes, just like Oron. Yeah. I have the first 6 volumes because, like, honestly, we really love a bind-up. I have absolutely no idea how many volumes are actually in this manga, because like I said, I think it's still ongoing. I'm going to try to catch up, or finish it, or whatever the situation is, I will find out now, after a brief little detour into the world of manga. Last series is the Mortal Instruments. I started this last year. I read this back in, I believe, March. I flew through it. I really loved it. I don't know if you can see all the tabbies. I always say look at all the tabbies, and then you can't see them.
Something funny that I didn't know until after I finished this book was that this series was originally marketed as a trilogy, and then she wrote another trilogy in the Mortal Instruments, and then they were just like, here, and then they started marketing it as a series. So I do not know if there's like a time jump between book 3 and book 4.
But I have books 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'll find out. Alrighty, now we have 3 books that I wanted to and or should have read last year, and those are Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. This book came out last year in the timeline of the Shadowhunter series, world, universe, whatever. This comes between Infernal Devices and the Mortal Instruments. This trilogy, I believe it's supposed to be a trilogy. She really likes trilogies, doesn't she? This trilogy is supposed to follow Will, Tessa, and Jem's children. So that's interesting. I'm looking forward to that. After that, we have The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. This is the prequel to The Hunger Games. I'm sure a lot of you, or all of you, know about this. Basically, this is supposed to follow President Snow before he was President Snow. I haven't seen anything since this book came out because I don't want to get spoiled, but when it was announced that this was supposed to follow President Snow, it was a mixed bag of opinions, and just want Suzanne Collins to make me like President Snow before he was President Snow. I mean, I'll probably still hate him in The Hunger Games, but oh, maybe I should reread The Hunger Games after I read this. Not a bad idea. Last but not least, we have Wilder Girls by Rory Power. That's her name? Yes, it is. This was 100% a cover buy, because, I mean, look at that cover. This follows a school, like a girls' school that's set on an island. There's this deadly plague that's entered onto the island, and now the school is going into lockdown. They're quarantining everyone, so on and so forth. It was like the perfect book to read last year when everybody was in quarantine and lockdown and all that. I didn't read it. I wanted to read it. I didn't read it. I want to read this year. Hopefully. I ended up really liking it. I really do not want to hate this because I love the cover so much. After that, we just have random books that have been sitting on my bookshelf that I either started and then didn't finish, or I want to read. And I feel like maybe this might be the year that I actually read them. The first book we have is Beautiful Creatures by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stoll. I started this many moons ago. I got the book from the library, I started it, and then it was almost time for me to return it, so I went ahead and I ordered my own copy. Woohoo! I got about halfway through and then I ended up DNFing it. I don't know why I DNF'd it because I was actually really enjoying it, and then all of a sudden I just stopped reading it. Next up we have The Host by Stephanie Meyer. I was a little hesitant with this one because it's sci-fi, and sci-fi can be a little hit or miss with me. I saw reviews though of people saying that this is actually much better than Twilight, so I got a copy. I'm going to read it hopefully this year, maybe. After that we have The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. This has been sitting on my shelf I don't even remember when I got this. It was 100% an impulse buy. I want to say it's been on my shelf for at least a year, okay? At least a year. After that, we have Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. I really want to read this because I think somebody dies and there's a mystery involving his fortune and these teenagers go and find it, and it sounds like it could be a good book, and I really want to read a John Green book where I actually legitimately enjoy it 100% and I don't feel meh about it. So after that, we have Again But Better by Christine Riccio. There are tabbies in here. I inadvertently DNF'd this book last year. I want to read it. I want to finish it. I want to say that I have read this book because Hannah on All Things Henny read this book. She really loved it. I want to love it too, and I was really enjoying it. I think I'm going to restart it because I kind of don't remember what was happening. I just remember that there was a chapter 5, I think. Yeah, Open Your Eyes and See. And every time I read the chapter title, the Ed Sheeran song started playing in my head, or I would start singing it, or both. But I want to actually finish this book because I love Christine Riccio. I think she's writing a new book, and I want to be able to read that. I don't know if it's a sequel to this. I'm so out of the loop, guys. I want to finish this. Moral of the story. Long story short, I want to finish this. Okay? Okay. Okay, and then finally, last but not least, we have All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. Yes, Niven. I almost said Nivens. One random night, I was in Michael's and I was flipping through a magazine, and I don't even remember what magazine it was, but there was a column where this person just recommended books. And this book was on there, and I was like, interesting, I'll look into it. Then I saw that there was going to be a movie on Netflix, and I said, I want to watch it. Let me get the book and read it. I haven't read it yet. Are we surprised? No. I would like to read this year, because it sounds like it could be sweet. Hopefully it doesn't rip my heart out and like tear it in two. That would not be fun. I just want to read it. There you go. So, there you have it. Those are my reading goals, reading plans, books I want to read, whatever you want to call this. Thank you so much for watching this video, for listening to me drone on and on about the random books that I want to read. If you would like to, you can hit that little like button down there if you liked this video. If not, that's totally fine. You can also hit the subscribe button down there if you want to subscribe, and you can hit the little notification bell after you've subscribed. That will notify you of when I upload new videos. Maybe, if I ever do that. The goal is to try and upload at least twice a month this year, so I don't fall into another little like 3-month, 4-month, however long it's been since I uploaded my last video. So I don't fall into that again. So I guess thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video, whenever that goes out. Bye!